Okay, thanks for joining me for another video. Today we are gonna continue with the theme of forensics, and the title of this video, as you can see in the subject, is private browsing. Is it safe? Short answer is no. Whether you use private browsing in Chrome or Firefox or Edge or Internet Explorer, a lot of this data, even though it's cleared out when you close the browser, this data has to go somewhere. So obviously, for it to be displayed on the screen, it has to be in a memory, and also it has to be saved in a page file. So we're gonna focus on Windows, but this doesn't. It's not exclusive to Windows only. It's also on Mac and Linux. So obviously, I have some few cases that I found that I worked on previously. So I'm gonna open them in Axiom. I won't be able to show much of the results. But I will show the left panel of Axiom, which categorizes the results, so at least you can have a better understanding of what's actually being stored. So here we go. Here's the first case. So a lot of this information here on the left, as you can see, has been categorized. So there's a lot of actual evidence that we found. It won't actually tell me here whether this was done through private browsing or not. Sometimes it does, but not always. I'm gonna get to, I think, this third or fourth case that actually shows in private browsing URLs, but most of this data was pulled out from the databases, from the browsers, plus page file, because the page file does contain a lot of the browsing that you've done. So as we can see, what can we find with Axiom? So here's cloud services URLs, Facebook, analytics, map queries, Google search queries, malware, websites, pornography. Well, this person only looked up one website. What else? We built pages. So these are pages that we found from cache and then we built, and then we can view them here. Any shopping sites, social media, stuff like that. So if you have a policy at your company where you are, not supposed to look at porn stuff, obviously, I don't know what company's gonna let you look at porn, except unless you work for Pornhub or whatever. But for example, shopping sites and stuff like that. So obviously, if that's the policy in place at a company, and you are obviously doing all these things, they will find out. If they bring the hard drive here, we'll find it. And in a Axiom, you can then drill deep into specific browsers. So we can look at Chrome autofill, cache records, cookies, you name it. Everything is here, and it's broken down per browser. Here's more from Edge, from IE 10 and 11. Here's some Firefox data. So there's quite a bit of data here. See, here's some in IE in private browsing recovered URLs. These are all the URLs that we found that were done through private browsing. So this person here obviously was using private browsing to I guess hide their tracks. So private browsing obviously is not safe. I'm not gonna go through each one of these categories because it's just way too much for me to explain in this video. This is only the second video into forensics. If you haven't seen the first one, I'll link it above. That first video talks about how to take a forensic image. So if you start watching that video, how we got to this point is, once we have the image, we run Axiom and we put the image through Axiom. Depending on the size of the drive and the amount of data, it might take anywhere from 1 hour to 24 hours. And this is on this computer here. This computer is a Threadripper with 120 gigs of RAM. It's a 16 core with 32 thread system on dual SSDs and an nVMe boot drive. So this computer is built mostly for Axiom for speed, because we don't want to be wasting time and waiting for 2, 3, 4 days for a case to finish. But anyways, back to the case. So what's also important here is a lot of operating system artifacts. Jump lists are very important if we're investigating any file systems, any files being copied to USB drives. We can look at any USB drives being plugged into the system. So a lot of this information is stored in the computer. So this is one of the cases. Let's have a look at another one. Here's another one. We got some dating sites. Obviously, if you're at work, you should not be looking at dating sites. And sometimes we do get false positives. With false positives, it's you can tell by just looking at URLs. But if you have like 40, 50, 100, 200 artifacts from a single category, obviously this person have been browsing these sites. We have some pornography, 129. Those would not be false positives. And just by looking at the URLs, which I have to unfortunately hide, I can see there have been some serious browsing of porn here. We can also look at social media here, torrent sites, and web chat URLs. This person's been on various chatting apps such as Hangouts, Zoom. What else we got here? More Hangouts. I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if Teams falls into this. I don't see Teams in here. It's mostly Hangouts and some other ones. WhatsApp as well. So if you're using WhatsApp for web, this will be saved in here, and I can see that WhatsApp's being used. And then, just like with the previous case, we can drill down to specific browsers. So we have autofill again, bookmarks, cache records. So all these things on their own are nothing, but if you start looking at specifics and start putting it together, connecting different sessions with cache records, and then you can kind of paint a picture of what the person's been doing. Here's some more IE, and this person has got some sessions here from Firefox, but that's all we got here. Some Google Maps queries and stuff like that, and once again operating system artifacts, quite a bit in here. We can also look at emails. This could be even webmail. So if you're using Gmail or office-based email setups such as Outlook or whatever, it will be listed there. So let's look at the next case here. This is the third case here. You can see that this person does not go to any porn sites, no shopping sites, nothing like that. So this person is pretty good. But just because the refined results did not pick up specific artifacts, we can still look at cache records, and we can still look at sessions and stuff like that. We might find some porn sites or other websites that have not been categorized yet. That's the whole point of this second section here, that we can look at individual records. And then let's look at last case here. In this case also no porn, but again lots and lots of web browsing and also OS artifacts. So these four cases, these are all Windows cases. I have some Mac ones. I had a case where there was some a drive was erased on the MacBook, and the trim didn't get enough time to erase the hard drive, and the person that had this Mac, we could see that this person was sending files back and forth through AirDrop to their cell phone, and using Magnet Axiom I was able to find out that just before the drive was erased, there was the AirDrop activity, and then right after the drive's been erased, by looking at some file system information, which is the FS events, which shows last time the drive was active, and it showed that AirDrop happened just before the FS events was able to write the drive. So this person couldn't say that the computer was never working. The computer was working because we could see by looking at FS events, and then we did find AirDrop artifacts just an hour before the drive magically was erased. So yeah. So anyways, this is a second part of the forensics. There will be a third part coming up in the future, but in the meantime, I'm still working on the Gardonics and USB stabilizer video. I finally got my controller card, which I was waiting for just before Christmas, because we need a specific USB controller for Gardonics. So that will be coming out hopefully in 2 weeks. I just have to put it together. The video is almost done. And then anyways, more about that in the next video. There's no point talking about it now because I just talked about it last video. So if I talk about it too much in this video, then it'll be nothing to talk about the next video. So yeah, on that note, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, share, all that YouTube BS. I hate saying that, but I don't know why I'm saying it. But stay tuned, more videos coming up in the future.